everyone, welcome to today's video. This is gonna be another chatty video just because I'm still very busy. We're still in the middle of remodeling, and one of my next videos will actually be, I'm gonna show you the status of our bathroom. So that's gonna be the next video, probably tomorrow. So make sure you watch out for that if you're interested in the process. Warning, it's a mess. So, but today I wanted to talk about my relationship to cleaning and organizing, kind of looking back at my life and maybe also making it more clear why I am where I'm at today. And I apologize if the lighting changes constantly. It's because the sun is coming out and going away again. It's kind of cloudy and a little sunny. It's a little weird today. So let's start in the beginning. I was born into my parents after they had an apartment for a while. They actually moved into a house. We moved into a house together with my uncle and aunt and their kids. I had 2 cousins back then, and then my 3rd cousin was born. No, 3 cousins, and then the 4th one was born. And so it was a huge, gigantic house. So we had one kind of half of the house entirely for us, and we had like 3 floors, and then my uncle and aunt and their kids, my cousins, they had the other part of the house. And I just remember there was this huge difference between my parents' part of the house, like our house, and my aunt and uncle's house. My parents, I mean, they had a business, they ran a business, and I remember it always being cluttery. There was always stuff. It's almost like there was not ever one surface where there wasn't stuff put down everywhere. The kitchen table would be full of stuff, and when we bought groceries, or when my parents bought groceries, it would be all on the kitchen table. I actually have some old video footage, but I don't have it digitalized, where, you know, when I watch it, it's like, whoa, I can't even just imagine anymore how that was. And there was clutter everywhere. I remember my kids' room. I remember that there hardly was any spot on the floor where you could actually put a foot. It was just full of stuff. Everything was full of stuff. Even the car. I remember the car was never particularly clean. It was just always just move and go and just don't really worry about it. And it's because they did not have time. They did not have time to clean, to organize, and to put stuff away. And so I don't know, I was never taught. And, you know, my mom, I mean, it's not like it was dirty, but it was kind of, you know, like not what you would consider a very clean and tidy home. It was just really messy and not dirty, but it was always kind of, you know, it could have been cleaned more often. It's not like the toilet was dirty and the bathroom was dirty, but, you know, there was usually some water stains, and it was just not anything I would enjoy nowadays. And I remember this just because my parents were busy. They had a business to run. They were very busy people. And they also, besides running their business, they had a pottery shop. They produced their own potteries. My dad was a potter and my mom painted them all. And they have the business to this day. My dad passed away 20 years ago. And almost 21 years ago, and my mom still has the business to this day. And then they had gigs. They were also musicians. My mom is actually a professional musician. She's a guitarist. She doesn't do guitar anymore. She does accordion, and they were made money. My dad was on the radio all the time and on television. And so I don't know, my parents were we were always out a lot. It's not like we were these homebodies, and it was never like this very conventional family type kind of setting. It was just very chaotic and unconventional. That's what I remember. And while that was really great in a lot of respects, because I learned, you know, it doesn't have to be what everyone does. It doesn't have to be conventional. At my cousin's house, it was so different. It was just this typical, you know, mom stays home with kids. She was actually a nurse, I remember, and she did work a bit, but, you know, she then stayed home with the kids a lot. And they always had meals at set times, and everything was tidy and just normal, right? It's not like crazy tidy or crazy organized, but it was nice. And I don't know. So I never learned to clean, but I remember as early as maybe being 8 or 9 years old, I had this desire to clean, and I would just, with a friend of mine, when my friend came over, we would just do this cleaning session and be like, ooh, let's clean the house for my parents. They would be amazed. and I enjoyed the process of actually cleaning. And then let's fast forward, a few years as a teenager. That's when I really developed, like I redecorated my room. I got new furniture and we did everything new in my room. And that's when I really started to take care of all of my stuff. I decluttered for the first time, and I had this vision of what my room is going to look like. And I kept it neat most of the time. I always had pets, and so there was a bird and there were cats. But I became this more clean person because I had such a desire, because to this day, you go to my mom's house and she has been decluttering for years by now, because she has been inspired by me, because she comes to my house and she sees like, wow, everything is getting even more neater and tidier. And I get rid of a lot of stuff. She has been decluttering for years now too. But I don't want to say she is a hoarder, but she isn't like a messy. But she does, like she buys stuff and she never knows what to buy. And she has been saving a lot of money in the past few years just because of me. She watches me and she says, well, I go shopping in my own pantry and I go shopping in my own closet because I have stuff I haven't worn and I never knew I didn't remember I had it. So I think your childhood has a lot to do. Maybe if you had very tidy parents, you either kind of took it on, it was just the normal thing for you, or maybe it wasn't such a big deal for you to be messy. But for me, I had this craving to be neat and clean. And then, when I lived with my ex-husband, I married really early. I was 20 years old. I had such a desire to have a nice, clean, and tidy space. But here's the thing. Up to the day, just a few years ago, nobody had taught me how to stay organized and that you actually had to declutter. I kind of knew how to make it clean. I remember or even after I got divorced from my ex-husband, we were together for 12 years. But even then, I remember always going through these sessions, and it's like we would have the house really clean and nice. And then it would take a few days, and then, we'd track dirt inside. And then once a week, we would have this really in-depth cleaning session. And I always remember going back and forth between ooh, now we have a nice clean house, because we just spent half a day cleaning it for hours and hours. And then in between those days, it was we didn't do much. And only in the past few years did I learn that it's actually really neat and fun if you have systems that, you don't let it get to that point to where it gets really, really bad. And I don't really want to invest these hours and hours and hours and hours once a week. I would rather just do a little bit as I go along. And that's just kind of how my relationship is now. I actually can say honestly, I actually love cleaning and organizing. I have become a nerd for finding better systems, and there's good things that come with it. There's always disadvantages, because I don't know, things that used to not bother me in the past so much bother me so much now, because I'm ooh, that doesn't go there. And it's almost I can't even stand. I'm oh, you got to put that there. Or you have to take your shoes off. There's just no way you're going to even step in here. I'm not really bad, but I can, I don't say anything all the time, but I can tell how it bothers me, because I've worked hard to always keep it. I always want to keep it clean. I always want to put stuff away right away. I have a place for everything. I have a home for everything. And that kind of makes my brain go that is out of order. Something is wrong. When something's not in its place, it's out of order. No, this is not right. And when it comes to bad, it's I can't function anymore. I can't think anymore. But the good thing is that just because I am keeping everything so much cleaner and neater now, I am more productive. I can really honestly say being a more minimalist person and really approaching everything on a basis of only do what's essential, only own what's essential, and then everything will become easier. I have had to invest less time into cleaning and tidying. And also I have freed up more space to actually be productive and do things that are very important for me. So cleaning and organizing is only important to me because saving that time and space, creating that white space in my brain helps me do things that are actually extremely important for my life. The cleaning part isn't the important part, but what cleaning results in, what it helps me do. And that's why it has become so important to me to continue to declutter. I have this vision of simplicity, and it has really helped my brain work better. And so it has really helped me be better in all areas of my life. I am better with my family because now I have this time and the space to have order in my brain. It's like I have planned this, and now I have time for this because I am finished with everything else and I have the system, and now I'm calm. My head is calm, or I have written down those things that I need to work on next week. And so now they're out of my brain. I kind of brain dump down on my paper or on my tablet. And now it's not going around my head anymore. And so I think having this relationship with cleaning and organizing that is healthy, it's a means to an end to a happier life, really. So yeah, that's kind of my story about my relationship with cleaning, organizing, and tidying. Let me know in the comments what your relationship is and maybe what your past is. What was it like at home for you when you were a kid? And what is your home like now? Do you feel like you're in a good place, or do you still feel like you have a long ways to go until you are where you want to be when it comes to, tidiness and cleanliness and decluttering and all that? So let me know in the comments. I totally hope that soon I can do more videos about, organizing, decluttering. But right now, everything is put on hold because we are still remodeling the bathroom and it's just crazy. My entire house is basically full of materials that we're needing, and it's dirty except for my living room and kitchen, and everything else is just pretty messed up right now. But it's the season, so I'm definitely going to show you the finished product when the bathroom is done, because it's another one of those projects that's part of the plan of calmness. I want to create that oasis for me where I can relax. Thank you so much for hanging out, for my blabbing along, and I hope to see you soon. If you have not subscribed yet, consider subscribing for more videos about cleaning, organizing, minimalism, healthy lifestyle, and family. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed.